You know that feeling, right? You walk into a room, stop, and think, why did I come in here? Or a name, it's right there, but you just can't grab it.
Oh, definitely. Happens to everyone.
And it's easy to get that little worry. Like, is
Yeah.
this it? Is my brain starting to slow down?
Yeah, that little pang of fear.
But here's the really surprising thing coming out of neuroscience lately. Getting older, well, it absolutely does not have to mean losing that mental edge. Seriously.
It's actually incredibly empowering news. The research is showing our brains are way more adaptable, more capable of change than we ever thought, even later in life.
It's not this fixed thing we're stuck with.
Not at all.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to unpack some really powerful research-backed habits, things you can actually do to help preserve, maybe even boost your brain function as the years go by.
Consider this your kind of essential guide, a shortcut to getting informed on, well, something vital for the long haul.
Definitely. But first, let's just quickly cover what actually happens, naturally in the brain as we age.
Right. So when we talk about cognitive aging, it's about these gradual changes. You might see a bit of shrinkage in the prefrontal cortex that's key for decisions, problem solving.
Okay.
And maybe reduced volume in the hippocampus, which, affects memory. Neurotransmitter levels can dip a bit too, meaning slower communication between brain cells.
So things might feel a little slower. Processing speed, attention, maybe.
Exactly. Mild declines there are pretty common, but, and this is crucial, it's not the same for everyone. Not even close.
Okay. So it's not inevitable how fast this happens.
Definitely not. Your lifestyle, genetics play a role, of course, but also your environment, your daily habits. They have a huge impact on how well your brain holds up.
Right. That's where we have some control then.
That's precisely where the power lies. You have more agency here than you probably think.
Okay, let's dig into that agency. First, big habit, exercising your brain. You mentioned neuroplasticity. That sounds technical, but important.
It's huge. Neuroplasticity is basically the brain's amazing ability to reorganize itself to form new neural connections, and it does this throughout your entire life.
So even if you're, say, 70, your brain can still rewire.
Absolutely. It's not just about maintaining what you have. You can actively build new pathways. Mental stimulation is the key. It keeps the brain flexible, adaptable.
Okay, so how do we stimulate it? What kind of exercise are we talking about? Not mental push-ups, presumably.
Well, sort of. It's about challenging it in new ways. Think about learning a new language or picking up a musical instrument. That really gets different parts of the brain working together.
Things that aren't routine.
Exactly. Puzzles are great too. Crosswords, Sudoku, logic games, even strategy games like chess. And reading outside your usual genre, something that makes you think differently.
Makes sense. Is there research backing this up?
Oh, yeah. There was a good study back in 2014, I think it was, Psychological Science. They found older adults who learned new, demanding skills, things that really stretched them mentally, actually showed improved memory compared to folks doing more passive stuff, like just watching TV.
So demanding is the key word there, not just cruising.
Right. Active engagement, not just passive consumption. That's what builds those new connections.
Okay, got it. So mental workouts, check.
Oh, yeah.
What about physical ones? Our next habit, stay physically active. How does moving our bodies keep our brains young?
It's fundamental. Exercise boosts blood flow to the brain, delivering vital oxygen and nutrients. Plus, it stimulates the growth of new neurons. Yes, you can grow new brain cells.
Really? Huh?
And it increases levels of a crucial protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as like fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps them survive and thrive and connect.
Wow, brain fertilizer. I like that. So what kind of exercise works best for this?
Well, good news is lots of things work. Brisk walking is fantastic. Swimming, cycling, great aerobic activities. Resistance training, lifting weights is also beneficial.
And things like yoga.
Yoga and Tai Chi too, yeah. They're excellent for balance, coordination, and they often have a mindfulness component, which helps too.
Is there specific proof-linking exercise type to brain changes?
There is. A 2011 study, this one in PNAS, showed that aerobic exercise specifically increased the volume of the hippocampus in older adults, and that directly improved their spatial memory.
So literally making the memory center bigger just by walking or swimming.
Exactly. It's a direct physical upgrade you can give your brain.
That's pretty compelling. Okay, so we've covered mental and physical exercise. What about fuel? Habit 3, feed your brain. Diet matters.
Oh, absolutely. Your brain is incredibly energy hungry, and it needs the right kind of fuel. We're talking specific nutrients. Diets rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, they're strongly linked to better cognitive function as you age.
So more than just avoiding donuts, what are the actual brain superfoods?
Think fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines packed with those omega-3 fatty acids. They're literal building blocks for brain cells.
Okay, omega-3s. Got it.
Leafy greens like spinach, kale, collards, they're full of vitamin K, folate, things that support nerve health. Berries, blueberries, strawberries are antioxidant powerhouses, protecting brain cells from damage.
Nice. What else?
Nuts and seeds, olive oil for healthy fats, even turmeric with its anti-inflammatory properties.
It sounds a lot like the Mediterranean diet.
Very much so. In fact, there's something called the MIND diet. It's a hybrid of the Mediterranean and DHA diets, specifically designed for brain health. And the results are, well, staggering.
Now stagger.
Following the MIND diet rigorously has been shown to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease by up to 53%.
53%? Just from diet. That's huge.
It really underscores how powerful nutrition is for long-term brain health.
Okay, that's a massive incentive. Now, something we often sacrifice. Prioritize sleep. You call it the brain's maintenance window. Why is it so critical?
Sleep is far, far more than just resting your body. It's when your brain does its essential housekeeping. During deep sleep, it clears out metabolic waste products that build up during the day,
Waste products. Like what?
including amyloid beta protein, which is the stuff that forms plaques in Alzheimer's disease. Sleep is literally when the brain's cleaning crew gets to work.
Wow. So skipping sleep means skipping cleanup.
Exactly. Plus, sleep is crucial for consolidating memories, moving them from short-term to long-term storage, and generally repairing and rejuvenating neurons.
Okay, I'm convinced. How do we get better sleep? Any tips?
Consistency is king. Try to stick to a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends if you can. Wind down before bed limit screen time. The blue light is disruptive.
Yeah, the phone in bed trap.
Definitely avoid that. Also, watch the caffeine, maybe none after 2 p.m. for most people, and keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Create a sleep sanctuary.
That makes sense. You mentioned the brain cleaning crew. Is there science on that?
Yes, a fascinating study in Science back in 2013 used imaging to show that the brain's waste clearance system, the lymphatic system, is actually 10 times more active during sleep compared to when you're awake.
10 times. Okay, message received. Sleep is non-negotiable.
Pretty much.
All right, next up, something we all experience. Stress. Habit 5. Manage stress. Why is chronic stress so bad for the brain? We know it feels bad, but...
It goes beyond feelings. Chronic stress means prolonged exposure to cortisol, the main stress hormone. And over time, high cortisol levels can actually damage and shrink the hippocampus.
Shrink the memory center again, just from being stressed out all the time.
Yes. It impairs memory formation and retrieval and generally hinders cognitive function. It's a physical effect.
Yikes. Okay, so how do we fight back?
Yeah.
Beyond just saying, don't stress.
We need active strategies. Things like daily meditation or deep breathing exercises can physiologically lower cortisol. Gratitude journaling sounds simple, but it helps shift focus and reframe negative thoughts.
Getting perspective.
Exactly. Spending time in nature is another powerful one, even just a walk in a park. And consciously limiting exposure to stressful news or endless social media scrolling can make a big difference.
Is there proof these stress reducers actually help the brain?
Yep. A 2018 JMA study found that mindfulness-based stress reduction programs actually improved attention and emotional regulation in older adults. So taking these active steps pays off cognitively.
Mindfulness isn't just fluff then.
Not at all. It's brain training.
Good to know. Okay, habit 6 might surprise people. Stay socially connected. How do relationships protect the brain?
It's a really crucial point. We often think of social connection for emotional health, which is true, but it's also vital for brain health. Loneliness and social isolation are clearly linked to faster cognitive decline.
Really? How does being lonely affect the brain?
And a significantly increased risk of developing dementia. Social interaction seems to act like a cognitive buffer, keeping your brain engaged and resilient.
Wow. So hanging out with friends is literally good for your brain cells.
It seems that way. It requires attention, memory, processing. It's a complex mental workout in itself.
So how can people foster these connections, especially if maybe their social circle has shrunk?
Look for ways to engage regularly. Join a club, book club, walking group, anything. Volunteer in the community. Make it a point to schedule regular calls or meetups with friends and family. Be intentional about it.
It needs effort sometimes.
It does, but the payoff is huge. A major review in The Lancet actually listed maintaining strong social networks as one of the top modifiable risk factors for preventing dementia.
What are the top factors?
Yeah.
Alongside things like diet and exercise.
Yes, it's that important. Human connection is deeply protective.
Incredible. Okay, almost there.
Yeah.
Habit 7. Avoid cognitive toxins. What are we trying to steer clear of here?
This covers things that can actively harm or accelerate brain aging. Obvious ones are smoking and excessive alcohol consumption, but also a diet high in processed foods loaded with added sugars that creates inflammation, which is bad for the brain. Exposure to environmental toxins like heavy metals or even significant air pollution can also play a role.
And being sedentary, right? That came up earlier.
Exactly. A sedentary lifestyle is definitely a cognitive toxin in its own way. It's about protecting your brain's environment, both external and internal.
Internal. What do you mean by internal toxins?
Well, this is interesting. It ties back to stress a bit, but also our thought patterns. Regularly engaging in negative thinking, like constant worry or pessimism, can create a kind of internal toxic environment.
So our own thoughts can be harmful.
In a way, yes. Cognitive behavioral therapy techniques, for instance, which help you challenge and reframe those negative patterns, have shown real promise in maintaining mental flexibility. It suggests our mental habits matter deeply.
Wow, mind management is key. Okay, finally, habit 8. Support with smart supplementation. Where do supplements fit in?
Okay, first and foremost, lifestyle is the foundation. Diet, exercise, sleep, those are non-negotiable. Supplements can't replace those.
Right, no magic pills.
Exactly. But for some people, high-quality, targeted supplements, sometimes called nootropics, can offer additional support, complementing that healthy lifestyle.
What kind of ingredients might actually help, especially with aging brains?
There are several with decent research behind them. Bacopa monnieri is an herb traditionally used to enhance memory. Lion's mane mushroom seems to support nerve growth factor. Ginkgo biloba can help improve blood flow to the brain.
And do these actually work?
Many of these natural compounds have shown promise in clinical studies for things like improving memory recall, reducing that feeling of brain fog, or enhancing focus. They can provide an extra edge when used correctly alongside the core habits.
Got it. Supplements is support, not the solution.
Precisely.
So, wrapping all this up, what's the big message for everyone listening?
I think the most powerful message is one of hope and agency. Your brain is remarkably resilient, much more than we used to believe.
Age really can be just a number for your mind then.
To a large extent, yes. With the right strategies, the ones we've talked about, rooted in actual science, you absolutely can stay sharp, focused, and mentally vibrant. The power really is largely in your hands.
So the encouragement is, start now. Don't feel overwhelmed.
Exactly. Don't wait. Pick one small thing today. Maybe it's just a 10-minute walk. Or deciding to learn 5 words in a new language. Calling that friend. Trying a 5-minute meditation.
Every little bit counts.
Every single habit adds up. It creates momentum.
And maybe leave folks with a final thought, something to chew on.
Yeah, think about it this way. When you actively engage in these brain-healthy habits, you're not just trying to stop decline. You're not just maintaining. You are actively shaping your brain's future. You're building a more agile, more resilient, more capable mind for all the years ahead. You're sculpting your future brain starting today.